What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning. So come by and say hello. Okay, I wanted to chat a little bit about Bitcoin and SPS and why I believe that to a significant degree, they have become decoupled. Now, I want to give you a couple of instances that I've been looking at on the 30-day, 6-month, and 1-year charts, and then kind of give a conclusion as to maybe what we can expect in the future if we see further decoupling, or at least a confirmation of this theory. So here's the 30-day on Bitcoin, and you can see here that obviously once everything with Luna fell apart, the entire market dipped and Bitcoin took down the market, or was taken down by what happened with Luna. So we just had this massive sell-off, and that has kind of just leveled out here in the high 20Ks. Now we look at SPS over this time frame, and SPS did the same kind of slide down from 12, 11 cents all the way to a low of just under 6 cents, I believe. Yep, there it is right there on May 12th. And after that time, started to pump. So you can see we did not get that pump with Bitcoin, but to go from 6 cents all the way up to 10, 11 cents, I mean, that's almost a 2x. Right? That's an 80% jump from the bottoming out of the Luna situation, which again, both cryptocurrencies went through. So due to the fact that node sales were announced and people were starting to load up, you could see that SPS was starting to pump and actually went quite high. Now, as soon as the node sales went live, everybody sold off their extra SPS, and voila, that's all we got. And we are now back down in the single digits for SPS. So let's take a look now at the 180-day chart, or the 6-month chart. And what we will see here that I want to show, and this is going to be probably a little bit more difficult overall, but there was a time back here when we bottomed out in January, at least for a little bit. This is the SPS chart. And you can see that from 10 cents, 11 cents, where we were at, we got the announcement of Waka Spirit Blade, and SPS did a pump up to 14 cents, almost 15 cents. And if you think about it, that's a 40% jump, right? That's maybe 40, maybe even 50% jump based on when you got in from this local low on the daily close. Whereas with Bitcoin, we got a pump and then a dump and then a pump and then a dump. So what was happening in this same kind of time frame from late January to February was kind of its own thing for Bitcoin. Now, what I do want to point out was that once we got into March for Bitcoin, we started to see a nice rise up again into the high 40s. A lot of people were looking at this and maybe attributing this to the Luna Foundation Guard at the time deciding to back the UST stablecoin with Bitcoin. And we all know how that turned out, but there was a lot of bullishness at that point, and many people were going in trying to front run during the month of March. Well, you take a look here, and during the month of March, nothing happened for SPS because there was nothing happening in the game. It was just more people getting a ton of free SPS from the game through the airdrop or through staking rewards and selling it. And that's essentially why we just continued to roll down and down and down through the month of March, despite all of the hype in February for Waka Spirit Blade. Now, if we take a look at the 1-year chart, and this is probably the biggest example that I have and that I wanted to share, and that I've shared previously as well, but I'm trying to give all of the examples here in one video. If we look back at where SPS topped out at during the 2021 kind of bull run, right? Second half of 2021 bull run, we were here around mid-October, whereas Bitcoin hit its all-time high, the 69,000, I believe, or at least 67 on the daily, in November. So roughly what, couple weeks later, 3 weeks later. So I'm not saying that SPS led the run here, but definitely a lot of metaverse tokens and a lot of play to earn were getting a lot of attention. But more specifically, I want to show you what happened in September. So we get to September, and if you've been following Bitcoin, you know that September is an awful month for Bitcoin. Wake me up when September ends, because as what usually happens in September, Bitcoin dips. And you can see here that in it kind of like very correlated with when El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender. We just had this massive drop off, and September ended up being a rough month where Bitcoin went from a high of the low 50s to a low of the low 40s. But in September, Chaos Legion was announced, and SPS as a staking requirement in order to get vouchers was also announced. And you can see here that September 21st, we were at our lowest, just under 22 cents. And by the beginning of October, right? So it's just beginning of October, we had jumped from 22 cents up to 59 cents, right? Whereas Bitcoin at the beginning of October did a similar jump, but was, well, it did a similar jump, but was nowhere near in terms of the type of volatility that we were expecting from SPS. Then SPS continues to go on, and what ends up happening is that mid-October is when the Chaos Legion presale actually went live, October 18th. So we see this top out at this point in time, whereas Bitcoin is still just kind of ranging around in October. Sure, we do get up high to 66K, but we don't actually top out until Monday, November 8th. And when you see here, by Monday, November 8th, SPS was already down. Now, why was SPS already down this far, back down to 52 cents? My theory, which I stand by still today, is the fact that I think many people realize that they were not going to get a significant amount of vouchers with the SPS that they had staked. So many of the smaller players or smaller SPS holders and stakers decided, well, I'd rather just take the money that I have in SPS and buy some cards now, or save it up and buy it for something else. So they sold their SPS, and that brought the price, or that ended up bringing the price down after all that hype and FOMO. So those are three different instances where we've seen SPS decouple quite significantly from Bitcoin. Now, there's also the Axie run last year where over the summer, Axie went up way high, but we're not talking about Axie. The only reason I bring up Axie is because when I think about decoupling, I don't just think about SPS. I do try to also consider the fact that play to earn and NFT gaming was a very strong narrative last summer and in the back half of last year. So can Splinterlands, can SPS by itself buck the trend and really decouple? When I look at this, I am bullish, because I do believe that there are definitely instances where we've seen it in the past absolutely decouple. And we just saw one this past week with the node sales. The problem is that there's still just too much SPS in circulation and not enough people scooping it up, or not enough utility and reason for people to go and scoop it up. So my final takeaway from this is I do believe SPS is decoupled from Bitcoin to a significant degree, a significant enough degree. The thing is, I don't know when and how strong that decoupling will be shown next. We do have Rift Watchers coming up, and there's definitely an opportunity for the game to grow in terms of its current player base to where the team thinks that it will grow to. And that could definitely drive, asset values up across the board. But it makes me bullish in the sense that if Splinterlands can continue to deliver, and the team has been doing a fantastic job of that. I know it's been a rough 6 months since we got the beginning of the year, or since the beginning of the year, we haven't had as much, but there is a lot lined up over the summer that makes me really excited to see how things end up playing out. All the things that the team has been talking about that they've been doing behind the scenes is about to come out and unfold in many different areas within the game. And so I do get excited about the fact that Bitcoin may be done, right? We may just be ranging or bearish until 2024 when the next halving happens, and then 2025 when we kind of follow that 18-month bull run. But hopefully Because we've seen enough instances of decoupling for SPS, we don't have to wait that long for SPS to really have value and utility driven to it by the team. We are no longer waiting so much. So on Bitcoin and the rest of the market, we would be on our own, and it really is up to what can the team deliver and what is the community's response to it. So that gets me really excited. Again, I don't know when any of this would happen, and I don't know to what degree, but looking at those previous instances does give me a sense of confidence that if we can continue to deliver, I think SPS price will move on its own regardless of what Bitcoin does in the global broader macroeconomic environment. So that is all I have for you in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and we continue the conversation there. I will catch you all in the next one, and I will see you around the game. Have an amazing rest of your day.